Hello everybody, Tom Matuska and Mandy Swart here, live Thursday afternoon, representing the Matuska Taxidermy Supply Company, and another beautiful day in the Iowa Great Lakes area. It's kind of sad this time of year. It's kind of happy because all the tourists are gone, but it's sad because all the boats are getting put away.
Fall is here.
And boats are going into storage, and fishing's good. Do you put your boat away or do you take it out a few more times? And
Christmas is already up at Walmart.
Oh my gosh, do we skip? We skip
yeah.
Halloween and Thanksgiving?
Yep, always.
There should have been a big Halloween sale.
Yeah, that's where we get the candy.
That's where we get the candy for the boxes, is the Halloween sale. That's one of our better grabs for the year. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you watching. It's really fun. I talk to people every day. All of us do throughout the whole supply company. And all the comments, all the positive comments are really, really fun when you answer questions. They just thank us for all the information that we try and make available for you. I'm not sure how helpful we are. Some of you know more than we will ever know, but if we can give you a little tip or show you a cool new product, that's our goal. And there's just a lot of fun things out there. And last week, you and I showed them some of the things for the catalog, because you have been working nonstop with all kinds of products and putting it all together.
Even looking through this catalog, this is the new catalog that I have in a binder here. I'm only on section 3 of 8, and I've already added 8 pages. Mom's gonna kill me. But we got a lot more to add, so hopefully we'll get that wrapped up and on its way to you guys here shortly. But there's a lot of new cool stuff getting added. It's really fun to find it for you.
And one of the cool things we showed you last week were the metal reeds.
Yes.
These I just think taxidermists are going to love. We've seen them for years.
They're not new. They're out there.
Yes. But
send us your pictures if you have stuff mounted on them. We love seeing them.
New to us.
Yes. Show us.
And for a long time, we would see these at the taxidermy shows, at the competitions, and some of the real artistic pieces use these. They come. I think we showed you last week. We have one that otter would have fit on.
Sure.
Look at the size of that. And they are extremely, extremely sturdy. They can be painted naturally. They can be painted abstractly. You can bronze them, brass them, aluminum, patina. There's just your creativity is the only thing that's going to stop you with how cool your finish is. You'll know when you start working on your piece, whether it's a fish or a Flushing cinnamon teal or whatever it happens to be, what you need. You know, your artistic juices are going to take over, and you're going to know.
They're classy.
They're really nice and super strong, and it turns your work into a piece of art. Instead of a mounted fish on a piece of driftwood on the wall, give one of these a try. And they're actually extremely easy to use. They're so easy. There's little mounting prongs on there. To make it simple, we just put 2 little holes in the brisket of this walleye, and he will go in and out, in and out, in and out. And when it's time to fasten him permanently, you can epoxy him on, or you can keep him loose so you can take him off at any time.
Yep.
So
and they're exclusively at Matuska Taxidermy Supply Company. So we paired up with Kevin, and we are now carrying them exclusively for him.
And they're just great.
Yeah.
Can't say enough about them.
Yep.
And something that we didn't show you last week was the prickly pear cactus.
Our new prickly pear. This is from Alan Hibbler. Some of you have used his before. He has a few more smaller clusters coming to us. We don't have those quite yet, but there's a couple big ones, like life-size, huge clusters.
Oh, they're this tall.
They're big. But we have 4 different individual sizes, and then we also have the clusters. Some come with these. You can add them together and create your own. They all have the wires. Here would be one. Easy to use. It just adds that pop of color to your mounts.
And I think you've got some new bases, some little clusters that go on your bobcat base and different little pedestal bases. And you're going to notice there's a lot of people out there making prickly pear cactus. None are as nicely colored. This is just a base color. You can do anything you want. with an eye probably wouldn't do anything. It looks so good. The seams are all really, really nice. You don't have to worry about seams.
They're through and through too. So he uses, the foam that he uses is completely colored through. So say you nick it, scratch it, whatever, it's going to show the color all the way through.
And that can be a problem with a lot of habitat stuff. You chip it or scuff it or carry it through a customer's doorway, or he does, and you scratch it. Now you got foam or something like that to hide. So this is a fun product, and I think a lot of you people doing southern dioramas, whether it's, you know, javelinas or boars or whatever it happens
in the
to
living
be.
room.
Snakes, we're going to see these on a lot of snakes and all kinds. Fun product.
All right. So what do you got today? What are we talking about?
Well, today,
there's a lot of stuff going on social media right now with pricing and all that.
I told you to stay off of social media.
I know.
Social media is bad for you.
So what are we doing today?
Worry about your own media. No. I think the big thing and the big buzz in the whole industry, and we've been fighting it for a long time, is price increases. And our price increases, I mean, we encounter two things: shortages and price increases on a daily basis.
Yep.
And we have to deal with these, and some of them are debilitating. I mean, it's like unbelievable things. One day it might be tumbled driftwood. The next day it might be foam. The next day it might be steel. It might be T-pins. It's always something new.
Eyes.
We can pretty much come in the door and we know that there's going to be a shortage or non-existent, or the price is doubled. So we deal with that all the time. So I think today we want to spend a little time. You as the taxidermist are going to quote customer prices for their deer heads, for their fish, for their birds, and it's going to be important for you to be a little bit ahead of the game and know what you're up against, and be a little flexible. There's going to be products that you can't get. You might have to improvise. You might have to look for other sources. You might have to be creative and make your own.
You might have to pay a little more for something. It's really important to make sure that you have the room in your pricing that you're going to get covered no matter what happens.
And prices are rising for a whole lot of different reasons. China's economy, I could care less about China. Now I care a lot, because China's economy affects Matuska taxidermy supply big time. Shipping from China. We have all these ships at the harbors and the coast that can't get unloaded. Can't get unloaded because they don't have laborers to unload the ships to get them to us. We can't make products for you because we have a shortage of people. It's just, it's, you know, you heard about the trickle-down effect. This is cascading effect. It's just cascades, cascades, cascades.
It is.
And I think we're very creative in solving our problems, but every day is a new one, and it's kind of exciting to see what comes next.
Yes.
But on the way of rising prices, our boxes, 10 to 12%, are just our cardboard boxes to put things in.
I kind of set up behind us here our boxes, as far as we have the 1 form all the way to the 2 form, 3 form, and the 4 form. And those go all the way from starting off as $4 to $5 all the way up to the $8 range right there, just for your 1 box that gets shipped.
And catalogs are starting to hit, you know, your taxidermist mailboxes. You're going to see a lot of things. Suppliers are struggling to bring you a good product at a reasonable price. It's impossible. I remember when forms hit $50 was not that long ago, and I said, someday you're going to see a $100 deer form. We're seeing $100 deer forms.
It's scary.
And it's not going to stop there. The object is you get ahead of it and make sure that your customers know, you know, that you're paying more for your products and that they're going to have to pay more for them.
Stay on top of that. It's kind of what we're going to show you guys today and talk about a little bit. Is we'll let you know what we're doing with our forms for the catalog. You guys don't have our catalog yet, but in order to keep you on top of it, you've already seen some others and what they're doing, so it's kind of keeping you going. We're going to try to help you on how to save, what you can do with our company to save, and go that route.
So today,
what are we
knowing
gonna do about
prices, prices are rising, I thought, let's just see how much things are going. So I took a trip to the grocery store. You know, I like going to the grocery store. Grocery store is like my favorite store.
You can't find him. He's by the samples.
Okay, so Skinny Pop kettle corn. First of all, a lot of air in that old Skinny Pop kettle corn because they probably would only have a little bitty sack if they didn't have that. This is only 5 ounces. Figured out as a pound, this costs $5.25 a pound. $5.25. I can count the kernels. I don't know whose brand this is. I can count the kernels in here. There's not that much kettle corn for $5.
Right.
Chester's puff corn. Emerson loves Chester's puff corn.
Girls are gonna be excited about this
corn, 4 ounces. A lot of air, isn't there?
There is. It's right there.
Right there. At
The
least
Dorito bag the other day was half full when I opened it.
$2.29 for 4 ounces. There's only 4 ounces of Chester's puff corn in here. That turns out to be $9.16 a pound.
You bite into them, they're full of air anyway, too.
A pound. You could eat a pound of these a day. $9.
I wouldn't stop.
Okay, now we're getting into scary stuff.
This is scary.
Especially it's scary because every box you get from us gets one of these. This is like a 8-pack. Gets one of these in it.
Those are pallet orders that get the king size.
This is, no, they don't anymore. This is 3.6 ounces for $2, $1.99. 55 cents an ounce is $8.84 for 8 mini candy bars.
How much?
$8.84. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
What about this? This is just
no
a
more
nice,
candy.
This is just, I know, no more candy for you guys. You get 1 kernel of Chester's cheese puffs.
Be shrunk by the time you get it.
Okay, here we got 2.6 ounce Hershey's candy bar, $1.89, 72 cents an ounce, $11.63. That's a lot, is that not?
That is a lot.
If that was a pound.
Right.
If it was a pound.
Yep.
Okay. That equates to this New York strip. I did go shopping. Look
I
at that.
can't believe you didn't cook that.
Look at that. Look at that, baby. That's a nice chunk of meat. Look at that. Almost 1.5 inches. Okay, now you take your pick. You want that? Or do you want that?
I'd take steak.
They're the same. Isn't that something?
That's something.
So prices are rising.
Prices are rising.
Another thing, this was interesting. We use a lot of torque head screws. I went to the store today for torque head screws, and I came back and I thought, man, $46 for, these are just the little short guys. These aren't the big ones. $46 for them.
46.
So the girls were saying, what are you doing? I said, I'm counting these. So I counted these, divided them out by 46. These are 6 cents a piece.
You didn't trust the 877 piece that they have on the side?
Funny girl.
Did you really
I
count
wanted
them?
a more accurate count. 6 cents a piece. Now, when I was a little kid, you used to stoop over and pick up every penny, right?
Yes.
Do you pick up pennies anymore?
No, only if it's heads up.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll flip it.
Do you pick up a nickel?
Well, yeah.
Do ya? So you should come back here and look up. Our screws are 6 cents.
I will pick them up next time it goes through my tire.
Sometimes we sweep them up and we're too lazy to pick them up. You don't pick them up when they're. You don't let them
877.
lay.
What did you count?
Not quite that. So prices are rising.
It's funny.
I'm not doing
So
this
what are
with
we
you
going to
anymore.
do about it?
I have some ideas.
Okay.
I've been working on some stuff. We got some prototyping stuff.
Okay.
We have to, as suppliers, come up with more innovative products, inexpensive products. If you notice, you go to you go and buy something at the hardware store, and look at that cheap handle. You know, they cheapen things. We don't want to cheapen things,
No.
but we do have to be creative. So we're looking at different kind of mounts. I'm thinking this might be an option. It's only a prototype. I have no idea if it's going to work or not, but it's kind of a half of a deer mount. and we can put this on the wall like that, and you just use half of a cape, you save all the tanning. You only use one eye, you save an eye for the next
One
half
ear.
amount. One ear.
Shipping, we can put it in a flat box. I see where you're going.
Half the glue,
I hope you use the second form for that.
it's just, okay. Now, look at this. We have innovative design, ships in a small box.
Half the weight.
You don't
that's
need a
true.
whole big box. Half the weight.
Are you going to give them a bite off of a candy bar too? Half the candy bar?
It's a good thought.
It is.
Sweet, low price. Low price. Save. It's a winning thing all around. I'm working on
I know a couple companies that are probably going to come out with this. In the
I do too. I'm working on a sneak deer with his head in a bucket, and it's so you're not going to have any ears or any eyes because his head will be in a bucket.
Sure.
So like he's eating grain or
Yep.
something like that. So here at Matuska's, we're trying to
Staying ahead of the game.
do our
Saving you
best to
New ideas.
bring you new products.
Oh my goodness.
Cool, isn't it?
It is pretty good, pretty creative. On a serious note, how can we help everybody save and what ideas to save?
I think we just have to make people aware of what's happening, first of all. Think when your customers come in, consider your tanneries are going up. As we look around, what we're finding with our boxes, what we're finding with our shipping, what we're finding with the cost of living index.
Employees.
Employees.
Oh my goodness. Just this restaurants, fast food restaurants down the street are 16 to 18 starting rate. I mean, it's crazy.
Any of our gas stations now are in the
Yep.
$14, $15 range.
Sign-on bonuses.
Sign-on bonuses.
Yep.
You know.
Insurance. So that's gone up a lot.
So just kind of know that everything's going up. Everything that we've kind of found in the past, years previous, we could count on 4 to 5%, I think. And if we looked at our costs as they're rising throughout the year, 4 to 5% would cover them pretty well. This year, it seems like our minimum and our lowest is almost 10%. So if you had a, $70 deer mannequin last year, you might be looking at $77 this year. With shipping, with eyes, with ear liners, you're going to be approaching $90-some, $95.
Right.
So prices are going up. So be aware of that. A lot of people will lock their prices in for a certain amount of time, but our foam goes up every single time we order foam. So there could be a time that you'll see a little disclaimer in our catalog that says prices may be subject to change. And if you ever call in, rather than surprise you with a price increase, we will always notify you and let you know before.
The website is always changed and updated all the time because what you see is what you get. Our ladies on the phone know right away when something changes. They know that it is a price change. They'll let you know, so it won't be shocking. The one thing that you guys will notice with us, so in the last year with everything going on and COVID and all that crazy stuff and not getting things in, we did not change our prices on stuff unless it was a huge thing that we couldn't get in. But our foam didn't change. Our mannequins didn't change. We stuck with the same catalog price, and that's something that's really huge. We have looked at pricing and getting ready for the catalog. Our manufactured items are planning on going up 5%. That's not near what everybody else has gone up. We're trying to stay as low as possible for you guys. That 5% looks like for your normal semi-sneak 7.5 by 20 form. 2021 price was $68.95, and the 5% is going to be $72.40. So you're looking at a $3.45 markup for those. So keep that in mind when you guys are planning. If you do use our forms, that $3.45, you can save that and get that back so fast by taking advantage of our discounts, our sales, our holiday sales, our Facebook sales, all that stuff. You can really save and get that money back. Our deer kits, all that is a huge save.
Something that we do every specimen that we do in the shop is we fill out a calculation worksheet, and this is just something we came up with, and it has the customer name. We showed you these before. You can make them yourself. Customer name, species, what it is, the mount description, if you're the only employee, you don't have to put one employee, but different employees may work on things in your shop, what they did. Maybe they prepped the skin, fleshed it, salted, coated it, sent it to the tannery or whatever. How much time was spent on that? You need to know how much time you're putting into some of these projects, and you'll find out that if you do this for a couple seasons, you're going to have 30, 40, 50, 100 or more deer head sheets like this, and you're going to be able to look at total time spent on all of those will vary. Add them all together, divide it by the number of sheets you have, and it's going to give you an average of how many hours you're spending on every deer head. Then you're going to have to figure out with your shop time what you need to be paid and how much time it's going to take you, how many deer heads you can get done. Then you'll have all your supplies used, your fixed costs, like your mannequins. You're going to be able to see over time how your mannequin prices are going up, how your eye prices are going up, your ear prices are going up. So get in the habit of filling these out and kind of looking at them from time to time. I always said it's kind of funny when I do a little business seminar. I've done it for many of the states, and I always start out, if I'm giving you a business seminar, it's like the worst person in the world that could give you a business seminar. So if I'm the one telling you what to do, if you do absolutely the opposite or don't do anything of what I tell you, I think you're going to survive, because I'm not.
I think you're doing just fine.
I know right from wrong. I just typically don't do it. But you need to know what you're putting into your products. You're going to need to know what your products are going to cost you. Don't be afraid to ask a supplier. We do it all the time. Are you expecting any price increases? And they'll let you know. They'll say, yeah, we're a little bit worried about we can't get whatever it happens to be that they need for their products. They will tell you. We will tell you if we're expecting something. This summer, our foam went up. Like four times we ordered in a row, it just kept going up, like 15 cents per pound. And we can expect that, and we know that if that continues, mannequins are going up, and we'll be able to tell you that sort of thing. So
I will say,
don't be afraid to ask us.
You got about a month before our prices change. So if you know what you need and you want to do it before the manufactured item, 5%, now is your time to take advantage of that. But there's about a month before the catalog hits and it gets changed in our system, and then it'll be set and changed for good.
No more.
I know. Right?
Did you tell them about ordering big box orders?
Big box orders. Like I said, you guys, we got 1 form, 2 form, 3 form, 4 form. The best thing you could possibly do is order 3 or more forms. So your 1 form is going to cost the same as your 3 form. Your 4 form is going to come out to be like $11 a form. Now you Speedy guys, you're spoiled, you're lucky you got Speedy, but even with Speedy, FedEx and freight people, you can save with this too. So it's an easy way to save by doing the pallet shipping or always planning ahead. The pallet orders, it's just, we can fit 18 to, what did you say, 36 forms in a pallet.
We have a telescoping box.
Yep. And so with those, it really brings your form price per box down to about $11 a form. You
Comes
get
down from 19.
Yep, and you get an automatic 15%. So you get over $1,000 orders get 12%, and then pallet orders get anywhere from 15 to 18. It depends how many pallets you decide you're going to do with us that year, and we will work from that. So 15 to 18% for pallet orders, and that's not just your forms. That is your eyes, your ear liners, your whatever extras you're putting, your clay and stuff like that. Now, obviously, we have certain things in the catalog, your reproduction fish, Pro 1 chemicals, they're not marked up enough for us because we don't get as big of a break from our vendor. It says it in the catalog and online. There are some exclusions, but everything else in the catalog.
And that would be like Pro 1, it'd be like our flushing machine, it might be like clay.
Yep, a drop ship stuff, things like that. But other than that, everything in the catalog, you will get that 15% to 18% off as well. That is huge savings. Right there, you're going to pay for your shipping.
It pays the shipping.
It pays the shipping. So it's huge. Big to take care of. Commercial. If you're a commercial is based off of your zone. It's done even though you're a business and you say you're a business, well, I'm commercial, I'm a business. It's not like that. It's based off of zone. So let's say you have, what did you say, like GM or a car place down the road, and you have it dropped at their place, you will save $80 to $100 by dropping it at an actual business commercial location.
And it goes by population, so it might even be in your town, but you have to check, and we can check for you. It might not be commercial because the population around your little area might not be big enough. So if you do have any kind of business that deals with FedEx, go ask them, do you care if I have a box delivered to you? It's going to save you
$80 to $100 for pallet orders, okay? And then I'd say the other orders, it might be $8 to $10. Is that worth it to go pick it up and not have it delivered to your door? That's your call. But it's big savings right there to do.
And some of you Western people that live, do they call it super rural? What do they call it?
Yeah.
Super rural?
Yeah.
And they're like up a winding trail, up a mountain or something like that. And that is a huge expense for FedEx to go. And we had a person, I remember a few years ago, that ordered a mule deer for him, just wanted one sagebrush mule deer for him. And he was in a super rural area. That's all he needed. And he paid 3 times what the form was worth just because of his location. So if he had a town, that FedEx delivers to, and you just say, hey, can I have a box dropped off to you? Give them their address, attention to him, and he'll save $100 and some.
Yep.
And those boxes, those pallets have lots of voids. Those forms don't fit that tight, so you can get all your ear liners put in there, all your eyes put in there, all your supplies, lots and lots. If you get into heavy stuff, it goes by dimensional weight, so there's also a weight to it also.
It's a huge way to save. It really is. And you get your extra discount on top of it, which is big.
What else you got?
Save, 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 save. Take advantage of the sales. Take advantage if you're not following us on our email. We send out emails all the time. Send us your email. We'll have a Halloween sale coming up. We'll have different things on that. We will have, Halloween sale. We have all sorts of stuff. Every Friday we do whatever we're talking about, sales on that. The crazy thing that I see on social media, I know I'm not supposed to be on it. You should never have to ask a supplier to ship the cheapest way. That's just crazy to me. It's common sense here at Matuska's. Our girls are trained in it. They know to send everything the cheapest way. The only thing we would get in trouble for is we choose the cheapest way, which is mail, and the person wants speedy. That's what we get in trouble for. It's always, if the box is really small, it's gonna go out mail. If it's gonna be pretty heavy, it's gonna go out probably FedEx. You have to watch your ORMD. If you order super glue, unfortunately, it's going out FedEx. So don't just order one thing of super glue. You're gonna get charged $14 to $16. Plan ahead. That's an ORMD thing. Any sprays, chemicals, ORMD, it has to go FedEx. So plan that kind of stuff in with your bigger box stuff for FedEx. All the other little stuff, that's an easy $4 mail here, whatnot. Speedy people, we have on their account. You don't ever have to tell us you want a form sent out speedy if you are in the speedy zone. We know all the zip codes that are in Illinois, because Illinois is the only part. We know all the zip codes that are, well, Minnesota's everything. Illinois, North Dakota, Nebraska, they're all partials. We have them all. Like, we know them. You don't have to ask us to send it speedy. The only reason you'd have to ask us is if we're trying to save you money by sending an envelope out, mail, instead of speedy. There's certain people that don't like that. They put speedy on their account. It says it right there for us. We don't. That's common sense.
And got to apologize to all you people in Florida and Mississippi and Maine who don't know what we're talking about.
But we take advantage. We send it mail for them. We don't ever send. So we do take care of you too, though, in the fact that we send yours out mail 100% of the time if it's going to be cheaper. And even Dawn is really good about it. She'll do checks. So she'll see it. Oh, this could go FedEx or it could go mail. She'll check them both, and she will send it out the cheapest. And then she shows the shippers, like, hey, this should have been a mail one. It was this. And they know for next time. They're trained, and they're really good at it. You don't have to ask us to send it cheapest way.
But Speedy is our low-cost FedEx UPS style delivery system.
For now.
And it's for now, and it's only through Minnesota, all of Wisconsin? Part
Yes,
of all of
yep.
Wisconsin, Iowa.
Wisconsin, South
But it's
Dakota.
only the core of the Midwest kind of. Unfortunately, it's not to everybody.
Yep.
And I want to comment on, we're talking about the girls shipping the best way and looking for the deals for you people. And I have listened to them time and time again say, I'm going to call this customer back because I think he wanted it this way, but I think I can save him a lot of money by doing this. And they're really conscientious about how you're spending your money to ship. And so many people appreciate it because they work really, really hard. You may have big orders that you never dreamed of doing a pallet order, and it might scare you to put stuff in a pallet because, oh my gosh, I don't want to send a truck, it'll take forever. Truck's pretty fast.
It's fast. It's like
really
3 to 4 days fast.
Yeah.
By 10, and tracking, you'll know exactly when it's getting delivered to you, and yeah, they're really fast.
Another thing with the pallet orders, when I grew up in this business, you didn't talk to the taxidermist down the street because you didn't want to give him your secrets, and he was not about to give you his secrets, and you didn't want him to know how many deer heads you took in. Things have changed, and many taxidermists have a good relationship with their neighboring business. So don't be afraid if you need help making a larger order. Drive down the street and ask the guy if he'd like to split a pallet order because you need some mannequins, and if he could join you, you can get a whole pallet, and maybe you only need 12, and he could fill up the rest and save you both, a couple $100.
Talk to Teresa or I, and we can definitely work out giving you both the discount to get that as well.
That's a lot of talking.
That is. It's a lot of saving, though. You plan right, that's a lot of saving. Just think ahead.
All the time that we go to shows, and myself also fall into this category, I always say a taxidermist / businessman is an oxymoron. They typically don't exist.
That's why you have Mom.
A taxidermist is he a right brain person? Is that what it is, a right brain person?
Yeah.
They're the artsy, type of people. They're worried about what kind of pedestal rod. They could care less how many deer heads they can get in a box. Finding the cheapest way and the most economical way and thrifty way to get products oftentimes doesn't fall, that's not a gift that often goes with the artistic mentality. And we see that a whole lot. So, you're going to have to force yourself to think along those lines, or don't be afraid to let the girls help you, or let us help you get more better products in a least expensive way. There's a book, and this book has been around forever. It's called the Breakthrough Business Management Manual. It works for any business, but it's geared towards a taxidermist. And I think in print right now, it's probably the only taxidermy business magazine that I know of. Somebody needs to come out with another one, and I know who it'll be. But Anno von Veen also had one for Jonas Brothers that he wrote, and it was a little thin paperback book, which was my Bible when I first started in taxidermy. And he had one saying in there he said, a taxidermist needs to live by the good soldier policy. And people say, what's the good soldier policy? He said, never be afraid to charge. You have to charge. You can't buy something for $2 and sell it for $1. You've got to be able to charge. Anyway, this was written by Bob Williamson, who started the Wasco Wildlife Artist Supply Company. And it's way, way, way outdated print-wise, but it's all of the concepts in here are as relevant today as they ever were. A lot of little cartoon figures in here, and it's great reading. It's not master's degree type business courses, not an MBA type, but it's exceptional material, and it shows you how to figure your costs, how to pay productive time compared to non-productive time, along with little cartoon pictures and like that.
Those gloss pages, they are. Another thing with that too, like let's say you're a taxidermist that's just starting out and you can't pay what so-and-so is paying down the road, or charge what so-and-so is paying down the road because your quality is not quite there. Well, with that, If you feel you can't charge the $700 that people are $700, $800 for a shoulder mount right now, if you're not there, you need to invest and get there. Join your state associations, go to the seminars, watch some of our lives, buy the Taxidermy University DVDs, and keep learning, because you will get there. You just have to practice and never stop learning stuff. But that's one reason where I feel like a lot of people are going to get hurt, is they don't feel they can charge for the quality that they're doing. Bring your quality up. Definitely go to classes. There's a lot of people out there doing 3-day seminars, 4-day seminars, quick little ones. The DVDs, they're great. So really pick up on those, your state associations, join them and learn more.
Nobody wants poor taxidermy work. And by bringing your quality up to where you want every customer happy. You want every customer to have a big smile on his face when he goes out the door carrying his deer head, carrying his fish. And you do that by bringing your quality way up, make your eye sets look lifelike, make your ears nice and crisp, make sure your cartilage is completely removed, hides are thinned better than they could ever be thinned. And by doing that and kind of do what the big boys do. There's people out there that are doing taxidermy work that comes to life, and you can be that. It's got, there's not a person out there that isn't capable of it and doing something you love. The good thing that taxidermists have, and we really saw it during the COVID era when it first began, is we didn't know what it was going to do to the supply company. We thought, my gosh, we got we have customer work here, we've got the taxidermy school, and we have the supply company. And we didn't know. And all of a sudden, the phone was ringing off the hook. Everybody wanted to go to school. The school was booming, even though we had to shut it down for a little bit while the COVID was going. But everybody wanted to do it because as a taxidermist, you're running low on money. You can go to the freezer, open it up, pull out somebody's pheasant, and you can make $300-400 doing a pheasant, whereas somebody who works at the gas station or works at the bakery does not have that option. Taxidermists are a very unique employment group to where they have the ability to, most of them, open up the freezer and make money and make a living to support their family. So when COVID started, supply, you could tell what taxidermists were doing. Yes. They were getting nervous. They were getting scared.
Well, the kids were out of school. They had to stay home. They were the stay-at-home. They weren't the essential workers. They had to stay home.
Might as well mount a couple deer heads. Yep. So anyway, they got busy and they started doing their backlog of work. And we saw it through the supply company. It was a huge boon for the supply company, as well as the school was thriving. Our taxidermy work, people were still, no matter how many people were sick, people were bringing in deer heads and fish and everything else. So having good, I think it's like tattoos a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, you get addicted to it. Yep. Once you have a deer head mounted, then you got to have another deer head mounted.
Yeah, so just keep learning and you'll get your prices to your neighbor, and which pays for the form. But definitely for those of you wondering, we are going up for our manufacturer products. Now, if our price from the vendor didn't go up, you won't see anything from us, but it's going to be the ones that we can't get in. Our manufacturer products, we are planning the 5%, which again, 5% up from last year is $3.45 roughly on a deer mannequin. So just to keep that in mind when you're bringing that stuff in. But there's so many ways to save. So talk to Teresa or I. You can talk to us about pallet shipping. You can talk to us about different ways to save. Let's say you want to do a whole bulk orders. You can join our kind of, what do you call that? Premier customer line, where if you put our catalog on top of all the other catalogs and you choose us first with everything, we will choose you guys first, and it goes a long way. So we kind of pass on extra deals and stuff like that.
Have you seen the little rolls of toilet paper they got now? They don't even fit in a toilet paper roll in the wall. They get stuck. They're so big and fat, but they're only that narrow. How come they did that?
Where are you shopping? The Porta Pot?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Everything's changing. And as taxidermists, make sure you stay ahead of it, and we will try to help you do that. We're going to keep our cost as reasonable as we can.
We'll keep you updated on products.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah. Giveaway.
Should we give this away? This is a good book, and you guys, anybody who hasn't read it, it's well worth the read, and you're going to learn a lot. It's all common sense. It tells you if you pay a certain amount for something, you have to allow a profit for your overhead. Not even a profit. You have to allow money for your overhead, for your wages, for insurance, for this and that, and this and that, and this and that. It's very common sense. When you read it, you'll think, why didn't I think of that? Or
You've always talked about that book.
It's good. It's very good. And it's one of the Breakthrough manuals. Breakthrough has great manuals. It's got payroll ledger cards. As a matter of fact, it's got a sheet very similar to these in here. It's got several sheets. You can just run these off. A lot of little cartoons which are fun to look at. Marketing and advertising. We did a lot of this stuff when I first, got into business, different things like that. And as taxidermist, another good thing you have going for you is if you work at the factory, you're limited to 40 hours a week and 8 to 5, as a taxidermist, you can work as much as you feel that you can work, and you can mount as many deer heads as you want.
And the winner is
David Brillo.
Ooh,
Oh, David.
Congratulations. So there you have
I
that.
almost think David probably has this book. You let us know. It's good, and it's extremely a lot of great information in it.
And we're off to the Dells tomorrow.
Wisconsin Dells.
Bring on the water park.
I don't think I want to do that.
Gonna go visit
You're going to
the
make me be in
sculptors.
that cold pool all weekend long.
You can warm it up yourself.
No, we have a birthday party for Mason Matuska.
And next week, what are you doing?
To be determined.
All right. Hopefully we'll see Brett back here and then I can get off camera.
We are going to, in the future, short future here, we want to go through caping and do a real thorough, like we talked about it the other day, caping and picking out mannequins and that sort of thing, and measuring, which is so important. And I had a person today call in, and he's being taught by a neighbor on how to cape deer and things like that, and just had some questions on measuring, and I think our discussion helped him a lot. Once you are able to pick a form that fits your skin every single time, taxidermy gets way more fun and way easier. So we want to do that, and we'll have a fresh deer for you when one comes in. We'll save it close to a Thursday, and we'll do that, show you the fleshing, show you the machines. We've got a lot of interest in. American Eagle fleshing machines are kind of hot right now, and they're a great machine, and we'll show you how they run, as well as other machines. We've got an S&S. It's a very nice machine that we'll show you also, as well as the old Quebecs. And then we want to show you reference casts. We've talked about it quite a lot previously, but we're going to show you how to make a muzzle cast of maybe a deer, maybe a fish, things like that you're going to want to have to hang on your wall that you can use for reference. So that's coming up in the next few weeks.
Sure. Chris is just wondering, how do I get on your email list for the deals coming up? So if you're just tuning in, we were talking about, we do sales and specials all the time. We send out emails. Make sure, Chris, you can just go and message us your email so you're not putting it out to everybody, and we will watch it and put it on the email list. As far as Facebook, make sure to go and like and follow our page. If you do that, you will get notified of all the sales going on as well. We keep that going along with the emails. And then every Friday after a Thursday Live, we typically run a 15% off of the products talked about. You can find that on the website. There's actually a spot that says Facebook Live sales. So you can go right there. So there's all sorts of ways, but send us your email. The catalog should be coming out. We'll get it sent off here hopefully at the end of the month. Allow one more month, unfortunately, at the printers, and then you should have it in your hands. Now keep in mind, we'll probably do another competition with a picture of it, but if you've ordered from us before, if you have requested a catalog before, You guys are on the mailing list. You don't have to do it again. That just causes too much work for us. So don't worry about it. You will get it. I usually go in shifts. So if you see people start posting pictures, they're probably in the Midwest and they're getting it first. And then you guys on the East Coast, West Coast will get it. But if you've requested one or if you've ever ordered from us before, you are on the mailing list, you will get it. So just be patient, it's coming. If you have never ordered from us or you didn't have one before or request it, send us your address and we'll make sure you guys are on the list. So give us a call if you have any questions or want to talk on how to save our pallets. You can call us 1-800-488-3256 or visit us online at www.matuskataxidermy.com.
We haven't had a paper shortage yet, have we?
Not yet.
Thank you for joining us. Hope we helped you a little bit in pricing for your customers. And don't be afraid to tell a customer this is the price it
I went up this year.
is, yep, and
Probably even put a claimer at the bottom saying
subject. I mean, you don't want to tell them, you know, $700 deer head and then charge them $9. You can't do that.
But typically, couldn't you call your customer before you start mounting
Absolutely,
it? So call
absolutely.
the customer. He can either take it somewhere else, or you can say, yeah, that $30 increase.
Matuska's just ripped me off, and I've got this XP form. They're charging me $150 for it. I got to go up.
I think it's Corey that he calls right before he mounts a bird to get, just so he doesn't mount it and then doesn't hear back from him.
Oh, from the
every time.
customer. Sure. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Make
So
sure
don't be
everything's
afraid.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.